Hey everybody, LadyLibertyStacker. Today is August the 13th, 2020, and what you're looking at is a finished Wagner ware Sydney O 12, number 12, model 1062 skillet that I've redone in the oven, and I'm backing off so you could see it. But before I go into that, this video is actually about a little mistake I made and just some things I learned about flash rust. So before I get into that, you can look at this beautiful skillet, and I'll tell you, if you are actually, oops, going to set up the tripod here. If you're new to my channel, I do mainly cast iron videos ranging from hunting for vintage cast iron, things to avoid, things to look for, how to identify unmarked cast iron, proper restoration techniques to maintain value in your pieces, especially if you want to resell them. Restoration techniques if you simply want a good user or a cooker, buying and selling tips, cooking and cleaning oven, seasoning your cast iron. I am probably the only female cast iron channel on YouTube and have 118 videos thus far to prove that. Check out my cast iron playlist for topics that may interest you. I also sell cast iron online and can be reached for information on how to purchase at my email address of LadyLibertyStacker@gmail.com. It will be below in the description. People may wonder why I don't show my face. Well, I didn't start out as a cast iron channel. I started out as a stacker channel of precious metals. I never showed my face for security or included any identifying characteristics as I upload videos on coinage and prepping techniques, or I had uploaded a lot of them. Many of these videos still get views, and there are people that want to watch them. But at any rate, thanks for watching. I'm going to be back with a clip that shows a mistake that I made. What you're looking at is a Wagner ware number 6, made in Sydney, Ohio. This was a cast iron piece that I picked up when I was out of state in Texas, and I bought it in an antique mall. I think I paid $5 for it, $5 or $7. It was really cheap. He wanted 10, and I didn't want to pay that because it had crud on it. I mean, it didn't look that bad, but you really don't know for sure about cracks, about warpage, or anything like that until you pull it out alive. Well, it came out alive. It looked really good, but it was hard to tell whether it was a spinner or not until you actually pull it out of the first round of seasoning. So anyway, we did that, and this is a glass stovetop that's level, and I push the handle, and it spins all the way around. If it spins a little bit like a quarter revolution, that's not what I consider a spinner. If you push the handle, it doesn't go very far. But if you push it with any strength at all and it goes all the way around, you got a spinner. I'll still redo this one. Maybe somebody wants it for camping, somebody wants it for baking, or maybe a gas range or an electric coiled stovetop. They'll work just fine on. But on a glass stovetop, probably not, because you want even contact. So at any rate, no. Second issue with that, and then back to how you can prevent that when you're out. Now, anytime I go out, and of course I wasn't planning on looking for cast iron when I was out of state, but anytime I go to the flea market or an antique mall in the area, I have this with me, and I do it across the bottom of the skillet, like so, and you can see there where there's some air underneath the left side there, and it's just not entirely flat. So, I mean, it doesn't look bad, but you don't always know. So when you spend $5 on a skillet, it's like buying a scratch-off lottery. It's a chance you take. It happens sometimes. That being said, I still want to restore it and make it look good because the font is good. It's very legible. There's relatively no pitting. It's smooth on the inside. It'll be a great cooker. The problem is, when I sprayed it to prevent flash rust, I was running out of my favorite spray, and I don't have any backup on hand. I usually do. This is Crisco professional cooking spray made with canola oil. This is fabulous for spraying on a skillet. You can evenly rub it in. It'll prevent flash rust, and it works like a gem. I ran out, so then I have this, which has a different smoke point. It's not the same consistency, and I sprayed that on to prevent the flash rust, and I think it produced the uneven results on my skillet. You can see there on the inside. You can see how it's shiny on one, see that? You can see how the pour spout on the other side near the top of your screen is shiny. And it just looks like there's some hard specks of seasoning that crystallized or baked onto the pan, and then you turn it over. It just starting to cool off now. It just has uneven surface, and I don't like that at all. And it just bugs me, even though it's not a highly collectible skillet. But I'm going to put it back into lye. Once it soaks in there for a day or so, take this one coat of seasoning off, soak it back in vinegar again, clean it off really good with my Brillo pad, and then I'll go ahead and spray my Crisco on. I'm going to run out and get some today. Spray on some Crisco until I can season it, and just throw it in the oven with my other skillets, and it should be fine. But I will be back once I've done that, had a chance to do that, and show you what it looks like, you know, when it's ready to be seasoned and after it's seasoned. But don't ever do that. Make sure you wipe it all off first before you season your skillets. Just wipe it all off. The other ones were fine. They were sprayed with Crisco. I've got some in the oven right now that are just fine, no problems. But this one was the last one I put in, and you just don't get this stuff, avocado oil. I mean, it's okay for cooking, but I wouldn't use it for the your seasoning process in your cast iron. Just stick with your Pam canola oil sprays, Crisco canola oil sprays. They're the best, bar none. So anyway, I will be back once I show you what the final results of this is. It's going to go into the lye bath now, and you'll see this on the next clip. I'll be back. Okay guys, I am back, and this is the 6 Wagner that I screwed up that you saw earlier in the video by running out of this Crisco professional cooking spray made with canola oil, and I ran out of that, and I finished spraying the piece with this avocado oil, and it has a higher smoke point, or it's just different. So I didn't adequately wipe this pan off before I put it in for seasoning. It was just a mess. It just looked terrible. And when you use this or Pam or canola oil spray, this is the best thing to prevent flash rust. So you want to spray it on real good, you know, all around, and you want to wipe it down, spread it all around the piece, and then wipe off as much of it as you can, but it'll still leave a protective covering on the piece until you can season it. And then again, you do the same thing on the back, spray it down, wipe it all around, and then just wipe off any excess so it leaves a covering to protect it. This has always worked for me, definitely always worked for me. So anyways, I did that. I stripped this piece, threw it back into lye, took it out, and actually this was done yesterday. I made a video and didn't like it, so you're looking at the one that I redid today. It's Friday, August 14th. Anyway, so I stripped it, took a half a day to strip, cleaned it up, gave it a quick soak in vinegar, and then seasoned it up 3 times with Buzzy Wax. And this is what the Buzzy Wax looks like. This is great. It's an organic mix of oils with beeswax, and it goes on as a dry matte finish, and it's actually, according to tons of reviews on it, holds up better than any other seasoning out in the market today. So that's why I put that on. 3 coats of that. You can see the Wagner ware fonts, the model, it's 10560, and you can see the interior. It's got beautiful milling. You can see that right around the side walls and the pour spout. Beautiful smooth surface. The only drawback is it is a spinner. If you push the handle, it will spin around. But it's perfectly good for a coiled electric stovetop, a gas range, baking, or camping, using it while you're camping. So this is a 6 Wagner, and I will be listing it for sale. And that's how you solve the rust problem. I want to show you a skillet. I'll go ahead and move that one. I want to show you a skillet that I just did. I'm going to go ahead and go into the dining room here. Let me see here. This is a Griswold number 12. This is the one I picked up last week at the antique mall, and I sprayed it down with the Crisco cooking oil spray. And it's a totally stripped A little bit of maybe a half a day monitored with scrubbings in between a vinegar bath. And here is the other side. And you can see how this stuff evenly coats. It evenly coats it. You wipe off any excess. This is sprayed last night. I'm going to be seasoning it today. I just didn't have a chance to get to it last night. And it's going to look beautiful when it's done. This is a number 12 Griswold. And these are very rare, especially in this condition. So I wanted to show you how that Crisco works. I wouldn't recommend anything else for your seasoning. So I will be back in the next video showing you this in the finished state and the skillets that are going to be going up in my store soon. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to give me a thumb up, sub the channel if you haven't already, hitting the little bell to be notified of future videos as they upload, and leave a question or comment below, and go make it a great day.